Hey guys, Scott here, and today I want to talk about the actual changes to the Trickster that are on the PTB. I made a video about the announcement of these changes, but now I've actually had a chance to play him for a little bit, and my opinion is pretty much exactly the same. I don't think these changes are healthy for the game at all. I think he is undeniably stronger, but essentially what we have now is a stronger Huntress that takes less effort and is punished less for mistakes and can be sloppier and get a better result than Huntress, which I think is an insult to Huntress because, you actually have to learn how to play Huntress. Trickster, you don't really have to learn how to do much, in my opinion. He seems fairly easy to play, and he's very... the mistakes are very, very forgiving on this killer compared to Huntress. Even things like winding up at the wrong time, he's slowed down significantly less. Like, Trickster enters his knife throw state in about a third of a second. Huntress takes 1.25 seconds. So he's not as penalized as Huntress for winding up at a pallet, and the survivor actually baits it out and keeps running. The Trickster can just keep running too and not really lose any distance on the survivor. He's also significantly faster while holding his knives out compared to Huntress by like a wide margin. So he's not really punished there either. And with these changes from 8 to 6 to actually down somebody, he can actually down someone faster than Huntress can now. If we're talking about fully charged hatchets. So the actual wind-up time for Huntress is 1.25 seconds, then the projectile has to fly, but if you're doing the 1.25 second throw, it's not a charged hatchet, which means it can be dodged, and also the projectile moves way slower. Like, it moves at less than half the speed of a single Trickster knife. So any good Huntress worth their salt knows that if you have someone in the open, you charge your hatchet, because then it becomes basically undodgeable. It's entirely up to the Huntress's skill to hit that shot, because you're not reacting to that and dodging that. And that's the same thing with Trickster's knives. You're not reacting to and dodging Trickster's knives. It's almost pointless to try to dodge his knives because they move faster than fully charged Huntress hatchets, and also there's 50,000 of them. What's the point? If you dodge a knife, there's another one in 0.3 seconds. Like, who cares? It doesn't do anything. So it creates a play style where you can just play lazier, essentially, and you can still down people faster than it takes to fully charge a hatchet and throw it. So a fully charged hatchet takes 3 seconds from wind up to actually get the projectile out at the same speed. But Trickster's doing that in 1.25 seconds. But obviously he can't down with one, so there's some leeway. But the thing is, he throws the knives every 0.3 seconds. So you do the math there, and basically Trickster is downing roughly in the same time as Huntress with far less punishment involved. Like, I actually even just straight up timed it. It's deceptively fast. So from absolutely nothing, standing still, to downing to doing a health state with your power, it takes about, and also I missed a knife here too. I missed that knife. So this is with missing a knife. It takes about 2.5, 2.6 seconds to go from standing still to injuring someone with your power, which, if we're talking about comparing it to a fully charged Huntress, it actually takes longer for the Huntress to do that. Also, Huntress's cooldown after throwing is longer than Trickster's as well. So Trickster can actually do the M2, M1 combo better than Huntress, or just keep throwing hatchets better than, like, he can do everything basically better than Huntress now. The only thing he can't do better than Huntress is long-range shots, which, I played a lot of Huntress. The amount of times I get a really cool cross-map long-range shot, yes, they're definitely cool moments, and they are what make it's what makes Huntress set apart from the other killers. But, it's not a common thing. 95% of the hatchets you throw are this close or at a window a little bit further away. People are not doing these cross-map hatchets. So, yes, Huntress does have that over Trickster for sure, but the amount of times you actually get that are so minor that it's barely even a thing. Also, Trickster actually has an ultimate ability now. The fact that you can bank it for a significantly longer amount of time now, 3 times as long, you can hold the main event, gives him something that Huntress doesn't, which is even more snowball potential. He's already strong in the basement now because he can down people in basically 2.5 seconds. And that is without any attack wipe or anything like that. He can just do that, like, as fast as he wants. So even in the basement, I think Trickster is actually stronger than Huntress now because he has that, and he can also have main event, which is even more just of the same shit, but just amplified to a ridiculous amount. So he's actually going to be stronger than Huntress in basement as well, which is one of Huntress's best parts. So he can snowball as well as Huntress. He's punished less than Huntress. He has more potential downs before he has to reload by twice the amount as Huntress. He can get 10 potential injury states. Huntress can get 5 potential injury states, base kit and stuff like that. So he just basically has everything more going for him than Huntress, other than the long-range montage shots, which are essentially just, a gimmick that's very cool, but not practically useful in most maps and most of the time. And the worst part is the changes to laceration make it so they really want you to essentially tunnel one person with this killer. You can't really like spread your effort out that much because if you put 5 knives in someone, they go away even faster now, which means the game really wants you to just focus one guy down. It's starting to remind me a little bit of Old Legion. It's not quite as bad as that because at least you can like run away and put things in between you. But it's sort of the same problem where the game basically wants the killer to focus down one guy so that guy's having a shitty time, but the killer can still lose because he doesn't necessarily have any like map pressure or anything like that. So we just have a very annoying 1v1 killer that's easier to play than Huntress, gets more rewarded than Huntress, gets less punished than Huntress, and is less fun for survivors to go against, but can also still lose the game because he has no real map control or pressure. His only map pressure is being able to down people really fast. That's basically it. So yeah, I just think these changes are stupid. They really should have moved towards less oppressive in the 1v1 and more map control, map design, or, game delay, things like that. I think that would have been a much better idea for this killer, because with this, it seems like just everyone's upset. The people getting chased have even less to do now. And it's even more annoying because, the Trickster doesn't even have to be good. You just throw shit randomly. They'll stick, it's fine. You don't have to be as good as like a Huntress player, that's hitting long-range shots or anything like that. There's nothing really to learn with this killer. It's just very, very simple, and you get more of a reward now than Huntress, that really rubs me the wrong way. I think Huntress should be like, the killers that require a skill, you're still throwing trucks with Huntress, but it still requires some skill, right? I think those killers should be rewarded for that. That's why Nurse is the strongest killer in the game, because, you have to actually learn how to play her. And that's why people hate Spirit, because she gets almost the same result with 0 effort. So that's why people hate these killers. They hate it when, like, if you get beaten by a god Nurse, what you basically say is, well, shit, that was a good Nurse. That fucking sucks. If you get beaten by a Spirit, they could be garbage at the game, but they're still Spirit. So you feel like you've been robbed, And I feel like that's the feeling people are going to have with Trickster starting soon. Because, yeah, from what I played in the PTB, even if I'm, like, starting to lose games, I still feel how fucking annoying I'm being in the actual chase. So behavior's not addressing the right things, which is his 1v4 being weak, and they're making him more annoying in the 1v1, and I think that's the huge problem with him right now. These are just preliminary opinions. I'll play him more. I would be surprised if they push him to live like this, because he's just really fucking annoying now. But we'll see. Maybe I'll change my mind. I'm not saying this is a law or set in stone or anything like that, but yeah, we will see. That's it, guys. Thanks for watching. See you next time.